once brothers, watching the city destroy itself. Although I love you, you often ignore my help. You built walls I can't climb. I knew they would crumble in due time. I just wish we could go back. I could do something different. Now only y'all can touch you, cause you wouldn't listen. But now there's this void that leaves me worried and annoyed. I would have died for you, the only brother I ever knew. Before anyone, it was us two. I remember Lot's wife. Only dark nights and strange fights is what I sacrifice. Sometimes I wonder if you're still in there. I show love to someone who doesn't seem to care. And don't act like you were unaware. I sent so many texts you could bind and sell a pair. It was written that a house would be divided. But I keep thinking, maybe it's something I did. Maybe I wasn't there when you needed me. Or I told you the truth, and now you can't believe in me. Or you're mad at our Father, and since I was made in His image, you see me as the problem. I want you to know you are loved. I hate to see you living in hell, but you don't know what's coming. I lingered then because I come from it. I can understand your pain, but I can't numb it. So I will follow Yah even when it turns my stomach. I said so many prayers and shed so many tears, but I'm en route to Zion, and I only have one gear. I gotta move forward. Written by Manasseh Israel.
Shalom. Our scripture reading for today is Jeremiah chapter 30, verses 7 through 9. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Yaakov's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day, says Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him, but they shall serve Yahweh their Elohim, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them.
Shalom, family. Our selection today, break every chain.
The oracles of the UCI, 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober, and watch unto prayer. And above all things have a fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5 and verse 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you are sealed until the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for Yahshua's sake has forgiven you. Be you therefore followers of Elohim, as their children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also have loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication, and all uncleanness, or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as become saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim. For Elohim is in heaven, and you upon earth, therefore let your words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 and 21. Behold, I send an angel before you, to keep you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelations chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcame, and am sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
Exodus chapter 4 and verses 22 through 23 says, And you shall say unto Pharaoh, Thus says Yahweh, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. And I say unto you, Let my son go, that he may serve me. And if you refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay your son, even your firstborn. Yahweh is making this declaration not just in the past, but Yahweh is getting ready to make this declaration all over again. It seems that he's going to have to remind the nations who Israel is and what they mean to him. And he's going to show that with great power. For the nations are boasting of who has nuclear power. To them, whoever has that is the unstoppable group on the block. They don't understand that my father has something way better than their nuclear weapons. And he's going to have to show them who Israel is. In Hosea chapter 11 and verse 1, it says, When Israel was a child, then I loved him and called my son out of Egypt. We have this money that has this Egyptian pyramid with the all-seeing eye of the Egyptian god on the back of it. He is getting ready to call his son out of Egypt again, as it is written. As it will be, I will call them the second time. See, he's already done this once, and he says, I'm going to do this a second time. Well, that wasn't just a cakewalk for the children of Israel either. It's not just a situation where we get to sit back and watch Yahweh do his thing without any change on our part. Let's begin today's sermon in Leviticus chapter 23. And today's sermon is entitled, The Accepted Offering. And this is first fruits. The accepted offering. Leviticus chapter 23. And let's start that at verse 9.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When you be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. And he shall wave the sheaf before Yahweh to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Shabbat, the priest shall wave it.
Now, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When you be come in the land which I give unto you, and shall reap of the harvest thereof, then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits. That's the first of your increase. Yahweh says this is his creation. The first of your increase belongs to him. We have to consider how we give an offering unto Yahweh our Elohim. Whether that be an offering of our time, because it may be a situation where we don't have any money. When we offer him that time, what time is it? When we look at something, do we say, and we often get to this, well, we say, I'm going to read my book today. And we wait about 10:30 at night. When this is the last of your energy. You can't pay attention even if you was watching a movie that you liked. You gave him your last fruits. See, your first fruits when you can actually pay attention in the day. You give him your last fruits. You don't even remember what you read. And you read it. That's how tired you are by the time you pick that book up. Go ahead.
And you shall offer that day when you wave the sheaf and he lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto Yah. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto Yahweh for a sweet savor. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the 4th part of an hin. And you shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the selfsame day that you have brought an offering unto your Elohim. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings.
So once we get to first fruits, we now have a situation whereby if we don't make that offering, we are now forbidden from eating. It says neither bread. Now, that's all bread now. So we then go to parched corn, nor green ears. We have a lot of things that we are now cut off from eating because we did not bring the offering of our Elohim in that harvest. So consider the individuals who decide they are not going to deal with it or whatever. You now have normal things that are now counted as sin against them because they didn't make the offering of their Elohim, but then they went about to eat bread, parched corn, green ears, because it just was their regular operation. Now their regular operation has turned into sin. And they have no idea. Go ahead.
We're done with that verse.
You finished that?
Yes.
All right, let's go to Exodus chapter 22. Exodus chapter 22, and I want you to read verses 29 through 31.
You shall not delay to offer the first of your ripe fruits and of your liquors. The firstborn of your sons shall you give unto me. Likewise shall you do with your oxen and with your sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dam. On the 8th day you shall give it me,
Mm-hmm.
and you shall be holy men unto me. Neither shall you eat any flesh that is torn of beasts in the field. You shall cast it to the dogs.
And you shall be holy men unto me. Neither shall you eat any flesh that is torn of beasts. For us to understand and walk as holy men, there are some things that we must abide by. We can't just go around throwing up our tribal chart and say, this is who I am, so this makes me holy. That's not how Yahweh operates. Let's go to Genesis chapter 4. Genesis chapter 4, and we're going to read verses 1 through 16.
And Adam knew his wife, Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare him Cain, and said, I've gotten a man from Yahweh. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And Yahweh had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
Right. And Yahweh had respect unto Abel and to his offering. He did not respect Cain's offering. Our belief is that if we offer something, Yahweh should just be happy that we offered it. We act like we're not offering unto a great king. Go ahead.
But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect.
Uh-huh.
And Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. And Yahweh said unto Cain, Why are you angry? And why is your countenance fallen? If you does well, shall you not be accepted?
Wait a minute. If you do well, shall you not be accepted? Why don't you understand that this is not well? And instead of getting angry, how about fix your offering? Why are you angry? You understand the difference between just bringing some fruit and bringing the first fruit? Your brother brought the firstlings of his flock. You understand the difference in that? Why are you angry? Go ahead.
And if you does not well, sin lies at the door. And unto you shall be his desire, and you shall rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him.
So then the decision has been made. He's not going to fix the offering. He's not going to change this and do it better. He wants to get rid of the one who is outdoing him. So many times we get caught up into this. This is why people walk around and say, I got haters. Because instead of them attempting to rise up or change something in their life, they believe that they'll be better if they just destroy you. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Cain, Where is Abel your brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
So after he has shed his brother's blood, he then speaks in a disrespectful tone toward his creator and lies to his creator. Go ahead.
And he said, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries unto me from the ground. And now are you cursed from the earth, which has opened her mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you tilleth the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto you her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall you be in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And Cain said unto Yahweh, My punishment is greater than I can bear.
The murderer says, the punishment is greater than I can bear. Have mercy on me. The one with the unaccepted offering asks for mercy after murdering his own brother. And this murder is about an unaccepted offering. Go ahead.
Behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from your face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that finds me shall slay me.
Now, listen to what he says. Behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from your face shall I be hid. It's as if he believed that when he slayed his brother, that he was going to get closer to the Father. He's upset at the punishment because it did not bring forth the desired effect. Somehow he thought if he got rid of his brother, that him and the Father would be closer. It did the exact opposite. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto him, Therefore, whosoever slays Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And Yahweh set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of Yahweh, and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden.
Right. So now, there is now a separation between Yahweh and Cain. Some people look at this and say this is so unfair because Cain gets to go on with his life. He's getting married. He's having kids. He's just living it up. He has no idea, though. He's separated from his Elohim. Now he can go out and live whatever fleshly life he wants to live. Yahweh ain't got nothing to do with him. We don't see that that is the biggest part of his punishment. But since he's still living, he thinks everything is okay. He is the actual walking dead. He is cut off from his Elohim. See, sometimes because we are able to go somewhere else, start a life, get married, have some kids, we think we still living. He died that day. He didn't even know it. The last thing you want to be is cut off from your Elohim. Let's go to Malachi chapter 1. And we're going to read verses 1 through 14 in chapter 1.
The burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I've loved you, says Yahweh, yet you say, wherein have you loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, says Yahweh, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
Now, the people of the world will tell you that God is love and God doesn't hate anybody. That ain't what he said. See, what they say about him ain't what he say about him. Go ahead.
Whereas Edom says, we're impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh has indignation forever.
The people whom Yahweh have indignation forever. This ain't never going to clear up. Once you do so much, once you have been so disrespectful toward Yahweh and his people, there ain't nothing you can say. There's no pleading for you. This is why we get in the book, and once Yahweh has turned his back on something, he says, do not pray for this people, for I will not hear you. Go ahead.
And your eyes shall see, and you shall say, Yahweh will be magnified from the border of Israel. A son honors his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, where's mine honor?
Right.
And if I be a master, where's my fear?
If I be a master, where's my fear? How is it that you don't do the things that you're supposed to do if you respect me? Well, I figured I can do them over here. Oh, yeah? You ever go to work but go somewhere else and told your work that I was working, but somewhere else? How'd that work out? Go ahead.
Says Yahweh of hosts unto you, O priests that despise my name. And you say, wherein have we despised your name? You offer polluted bread upon mine altar, and you say, wherein have we polluted you? In that you say, the table of Yahweh is contemptible. And if you offer the blind for sacrifice, is it not evil?
Is it not evil? If you offer the blind for sacrifice, is it not evil? If you put forth a half effort in something, is it not evil? Go ahead.
And if you offer the lame and sick, is it not evil? Offer it now unto your governor. Will he be pleased with you or accept your person? Says Yahweh of hosts.
Right. We know even when we go in to take something back from Target, we got sense enough to know put it back in the box. We got sense enough to know find them papers back there, go in there, put them back in that box. We don't just go in there with a bag with it hanging out the bag. Hey, look at this. I need to bring this back. Go ahead.
And now I pray you, beseech Elohim that he will be gracious unto us. This has been by your means. Will he regard your persons, says Yahweh of hosts. Who is there even among you that would shut the doors for naught? Neither do you kindle fire on mine altar for naught. I have no pleasure in you, says Yahweh of hosts. Neither will I accept an offering at your hand.
Neither will I accept an offering at your hand. Once we've gotten to the point where Yahweh has given us chance after chance, he stops accepting your offer. Yahweh is not in need of anything that we have. Please don't think that you're going to make or break Yahweh. Like when you bring your $22, he just got rich. He was almost there, but he needed that 22. When he got that 22, now he is officially rich thanks to you. The earth and the fullness therein belongs to my Elohim. You ain't never going to make somebody rich giving them their stuff. If that's what you think it's about, then you really don't understand anything. Any business person know if they're going to make some money, they have to get somebody else's stuff. They can't just keep getting their own stuff and advance. Everything we give to him belong to him. It's like when he asked Cain a question. He ain't asking because he didn't know. The question is rhetorical. Where's your brother? Go ahead.
For from the rising of the sun even on to the going down of the same, my name shall be great among the Gentiles. And in every place incense shall be offered unto my name, and a pure offering. For my name shall be great among the heathen, says Yahweh of hosts. But you have profaned it, in that you say the table of Yahweh is polluted, and the fruit thereof, even his meat, is contemptible. You said also, behold, what a weariness is it, and you have snuffed at it, says Yahweh of hosts. And you brought that which was torn, and the lame, and the sick. Thus you brought an offering. Should I accept this of your hand, says Yahweh?
Right. We go out and do whatever that is that we need to do. Bring the leftover torn pieces and then give it to Yahweh. He said, shall I accept this? Go ahead.
But cursed be the deceiver, which has in his flock a male, and vows and sacrifice unto the Adonai a corrupt thing. For I'm a great king, says Yahweh of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen.
I am a great king, says Yahweh of hosts. And he's going to make the nations understand that as well. But this is something that we should already know. This is something that we should already show, that we have respect and godly fear for him before he gets to the point of showing that to the nations. We shouldn't be learning it at the time that the nations learn it. There's something seriously wrong if that is the case. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 26. Deuteronomy chapter 26. And let's read verses 1 through 19.
And it shall be, when you are coming onto the land which Yahweh your Elohim gives you for an inheritance, and possess it, and dwelleth therein, that you shall take of the first of all the fruit of the earth, which you shall bring of your land that Yahweh your Elohim gives you, and shall put it in a basket, and shall go on to the place which Yahweh your Elohim shall choose to place his name there. And you shall go on to the priest that shall be in those days, and say unto him, I profess this day unto Yahweh your Elohim, that I am come unto the country which Yahweh sware unto our fathers for to give us. And the priest shall take the basket out of your hand, and set it down before the altar of Yahweh your Elohim. And you shall speak and say before Yahweh your Elohim, a Syrian ready to perish was my father. And he went down into Egypt, and sojourned there with a few, and became there a nation, great, mighty, and populous. And the Egyptians evil entreated us, and afflicted us, and laid upon us hard bondage. And when we cried unto Yahweh Elohim of our fathers, Yahweh heard our voice, and looked on our affliction, and our labor, and our oppression. And Yahweh brought us forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand, and with an outstretched arm, and with great terribleness, and with signs, and with wonders. And he has brought us into this place, and has given us this land, even a land that flows with milk and honey. And now, behold, I have brought the first fruits of the land, which you, O Yahweh, has given me. And you shall set it before Yahweh your Elohim, and worship before Yahweh your Elohim.
See, the creation that the powers that be have set in place, we don't know that Yahweh has provided these things, because they have completely changed the way we receive any sustenance. You know, we go to factories and stores to get our fruits and vegetables. We don't watch it come out of the ground anymore. There's certain things that we wouldn't know it if we saw it outside of the store. We'll be looking at some things and, man, why they got these things laying on the ground? Bro, they grow on the ground, bro. That's where they grow. But when we saw them, they was under a big light at Walmart. They ain't never on the ground at Walmart. And the way we get our pay, it comes directly from the company. We don't even see checks no more. It used to be a point where you could see a check and go to a bank and cash that check. That money just show up in our account. We don't even see the check no more. So after a while, Yahweh is disconnected from this whole process. We say, I get to live my life and I ain't got nothing to do with Yahweh. Go ahead.
And you shall rejoice in every good thing which Yahweh Elohim has given unto you, and unto your house, you and the Levite and the stranger that is among you. When you have made an end of tithing all the tithes of your increase, the third year, which is the year of tithing, and has given it unto the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, that they may eat within your gates and be filled, then you shall say before Yahweh Elohim, I brought away the hallowed things out of mine house, and also have given them unto the Levite, and unto the stranger, to the fatherless, and to the widow, according to all your commandments which you have commanded me. I have not transgressed your commandments, neither have I forgotten them. I have not eaten thereof in my mourning.
I have not eaten thereof in my mourning. I have set aside something for my Elohim, and I have not started to nibble away at it based on whatever I was feeling at the time. We say, you know what, Yahweh, I'm going to do such and such. I'm going to go and I'm going to put in 2 hours of work. Then we start nibbling off the 2 hours. Well, I had to go by and pick up my dry cleaner. And then I had to go to, I realized I didn't get no gas. I had to go get the gas. And then my mama and them, they had said that she needed me to drop something off over there. Nibble, 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 nibble. We got 32 minutes left over for Yahweh from the 2 hours that we promised. Should he accept that? Go ahead.
Neither have I taken away aught thereof for any unclean use, nor given aught thereof for the dead. But I have hearkened to the voice of Yahweh my Elohim, and have done according to all that you have commanded me. Look down from your holy habitation, from heaven, and bless your people Israel, and the land which you have given us, as you sweareth unto our fathers, a land that flows with milk and honey. This day Yahweh your Elohim has commanded you to do these statutes and judgments. You shall therefore keep and do them with all your heart and with all your soul.
Do we know what that is? If you're comfortable, I can tell you that ain't all your heart and all your soul. If it's always comfortable unto you, you have never given Yahweh all your might. You ever seen somebody lifting them weights when they in those competitions? You ever see their face? You see their face? He's trying to lift as much as he's giving it all his might. You see that face? Don't look like he's posing for a portrait, does it? That's because he's giving it all he's got. If your face ain't never disfigured, you ain't never gave it all you got. Go ahead.
You have avouched Yahweh this day to be your Elohim, and to walk in his ways, and to keep his statutes and his commandments, and his judgments, and to hearken unto his voice. And Yahweh has avouched you this day to be his peculiar people, as he has promised you, and that you should keep all his commandments, and to make you high above all nations which he has made, in praise and in name and in honor, and that you may be an holy people unto Yahweh your Elohim, as he has spoken.
Now, when we read this, it says you ought to take those fruit and then go put it in a basket and bring it onto the altar. So, and it's very interesting that we have right around this very same time that they have Easter baskets. They got baskets for sale at every corner store. You can get them at the gas station. You can get them at Walmart. And they just elaborate. And they got little fruit in there. They got little bunnies, eggs, chocolate eggs, candy eggs, all of these things. Now, and we understand, we got sense enough to know now that bunnies don't lay eggs. That bunnies make small bunnies. They don't make eggs. But inside this basket of divination has things that don't even make sense. So we pass out these baskets to the children that is contained with a straight lie. You got bunnies and eggs telling the kids, go and get these Easter eggs. So the adversary, the devil, has taken an actual setup of our Elohim and turned it into a fertility ritual right under our noses. And let me tell you something. I learned about the Easter basket before I learned that Yahweh had this basket here. See, that's one thing about Lucifer. He got to tell you his side first. He got to hurry up and run to you. Wait, now you need to hear what I got to say. So I was already on his basket with his chocolate bunnies, with his eggs in there. Then I read about Yahweh. Sometimes the faker comes first. And he's way more elaborate in his fakeness. Let's go to Exodus chapter 13. Look at how you play games with us. Look at what we're doing on this day of first fruits. Look at how most of us are dressed in white. What they wear when they have that Easter basket.
White.
You see how the adversary, the devil, plays games? So you got all the kids dressed in white. Let me tell you just how sick this is. We're wearing white. It says even white linen was the clean righteousness of saints. Understanding that. What does Lucifer do? Set up the most god-awful setup. So they're white. They are little instruments of fertility, and I'm gonna need you to use your brain for that. So they got the eggs out, and then the little kids is running around in a frenzy, all dressed in white, to go and find the special egg, symbolizing the one little object of reproduction that fertilizes the egg. So right around the same time, they walking around in white, and they made sure that Easter would be right around Passover. It has an equation to make sure that they're going to be right around the same time. I'm talking days off, sometimes almost the same day. So Lucifer got people walking around in white too. Right. Go ahead, brother. Where we at?
Exodus.
Exodus chapter 13, and let's start at verse 1.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever opens the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast, it is mine.
So wait a minute. So Lucifer starts early in getting the kids. He give them the Easter basket. They said, this is for the kids. Okay. So he's starting early. Yahweh said, the firstborn is mine. Lucifer said, no, I'm going to get to them before you get to them. Go ahead.
And Moshe said unto the people, Remember this day when you came from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of hand Yahweh brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. This day came you out in the month of Bib. And it shall be when Yahweh shall bring you into the land of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, which he sware unto your fathers to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey, that you shall keep the service in this month. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, and in the 7th day shall be a feast to Yah. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days, and there shall no leavened bread be seen with you, neither shall there be leaven seen with you in all your quarters. And you shall show your son in that day, saying, This is done because of that which Yahweh did unto me when I came forth out of Egypt.
And you shall show your son in that day. See, your son is going to see what you are doing and start to ask why. We have to ask ourselves, what else do our sons see that they're going to ask us why? Go ahead.
And it shall be for a sign unto you upon your hand, and for a memorial between your eyes, that Yahweh's law may be in your mouth. For with a strong hand has Yahweh brought you out of Egypt. You shall therefore keep this ordinance in his season from year to year. And it shall be when Yahweh shall bring you on into the land of the Canaanites, as he sware unto you and to your fathers, and shall give it you, that you shall set apart unto Yahweh all that opens the matrix, and every firstling that comes of a beast which you have, the males shall be Yah's. And every firstling of an ass you shall redeem with a lamb. And if you will not redeem it, then you shall break his neck. And all the firstborn of man among your children shall you redeem. And it shall be, when your son asks you in time to come, saying, What is this? That you shall say unto him, By strength of hand Yahweh brought us out from Egypt, from the house of bondage. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh would hardly let us go, that Yahweh slew all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beasts. Therefore I sacrifice to Yahweh all that opens the matrix, being males. But all the firstborn of my children I redeem. And it shall be for a token upon your hand, and for frontlets between your eyes. For by strength of hand Yahweh brought us forth out of Egypt.
All right, so then all these firstborn belong to him as he sanctified them in that day. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that Elohim led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For Elohim said, lest peradventure the people repent when they see war, and they return to Egypt.
So Yahweh don't always take the shortest path. I think we need to let that marinate for a minute. Because we have thoughts in our heads, this will be better if we do it this way. Now that'll be quicker. Quicker is not necessarily better. He said, no. You're not ready for what you're going to see if we go that way. Let's go around the block. Let's not go that way. Go ahead.
But Elohim led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up harnessed out of the land of Egypt. And Moshe took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, Elohim will surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones away from hence with you. And they took their journey from Succoth, and encamped in Etham, in the edge of the wilderness. And Yahweh went before them by day in a pillar of cloud, to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire, to give them light, to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night, from before the people.
It's real easy to follow Yahweh when you see the cloud and the fire. It's going to be a real hard sell to say, I didn't know where the Spirit was going. Really? You didn't see the fire moving? You didn't see it? Let's go to Numbers chapter 3. See, Yahweh not going to give that to us this time. Numbers chapter 3, and let's start at verse 1.
These also are the generations of Aaron and Moshe in the day that Yahweh spake with Moshe in Mount Sinai. And these are the names of the sons of Aaron: Nadab the firstborn, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. These are the names of the sons of Aaron, the priests which were anointed, whom he consecrated to minister in the priest's office. And Nadab and Abihu died before Yahweh, when they offered strange fire before Yahweh, in the wilderness of Sinai. And they had no children. And Eleazar and Ithamar ministered in the priest's office in the sight of Aaron, their father.
Right. Why didn't Yahweh just say, I know Aaron, so I'm going to let this slide? Go ahead.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Bring the tribe of Levi near, and present them before Aaron the priest, that they may minister unto him. And they shall keep his charge, and the charge of the whole congregation before the tabernacle of the congregation, to do the service of the tabernacle. And they shall keep all the instruments of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the charge of the children of Israel, to do the service of the tabernacle. And you shall give the Levites unto Aaron and to his sons. They are wholly given unto him out of the children of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And you shall appoint Aaron and his sons, and they shall wait on their priest's office. And the stranger that comes near shall be put to death. And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe, saying, And I, behold, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel, instead of all the firstborn that opens the matrix among the children of Israel. Therefore the Levites shall be mine.
So instead of the firstborn, he has taken the Levites as his. Go ahead.
Because all the firstborn are mine. For on the day that I smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I hallowed unto me all the firstborn in Israel, both man and beast. Mine shall they be. I am Yah.
So you need to consider what this concept actually means here. So verse 13, because of all the firstborn are mine. For on the day that I smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I hallowed unto me all the firstborn in Israel. So he saved them. And at that point, they forever belong to him. A lot of times we ask for something. We ask for Yahweh to do something for us. We don't understand that he's going to also hold us accountable in like fashion. He didn't just save all the firstborn and then that's it. No. The rest of the generations are going to have to pay that debt. Now they all owe me the firstborn. Consider that when we go to our Elohim and we ask for this and we ask for that. All right. Just understand. He may give you exactly that. But he's going to also require something. Go ahead.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe in the wilderness of Sinai, saying, Number the children of Levi after the house of their fathers, by their families. Every male from a month old and upward shall you number them. And Moshe numbered them according to the word of Yahweh, as he was commanded. And these were the sons of Levi by their names, Gershon and Kohath and Merari.
All right, that's as far as I want to go right there. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15. It's really interesting how we can listen. Yahweh says that he has chosen the Levites instead of the firstborn. And then we have a whole setup of individuals saying that they are living in the Holy Land and said that they are the chosen people. Yet, through their own lips, say that they don't have the tribe of Levi. There's something seriously strange about that. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, and let's read verses 12 through 23.
Verse 12. Now if Yahshua be preached that he rose from the dead, how say some among you that there is no resurrection of the dead? But if there be no resurrection of the dead, then is Yahshua not risen? And if Yahshua be not risen, then is our preaching vain, and your faith is also vain. Yea, and we are found false witnesses of Elohim, because we have testified of Elohim that he raised up Yahshua, whom he raised not up, if so be that the dead rise not. For if the dead rise not, then is not Yahshua raised. And if Yahshua be not raised, your faith is vain. You are yet in your sins. Then they also which are fallen asleep in Yahshua are perished. If in this life only we have hope in Yahshua, we are of all men most miserable.
Now, as he goes through this, let's suppose is what he's going through. Then he says, then they also which are fallen asleep in the Mashiach are perished. Wait a minute. Why he said, the one that's in heaven? Wait a minute, the New Testament, right? Why he didn't say, the ones that's in heaven with Christ? Because I thought that's what they were supposed to be. They said every time that whoever died is in heaven looking down. Why he don't see Christ to be up there? Man, they know it don't say that. They know it don't say that. But that's what they want to hear. So when they get to something like this, they're going to skip this verse. Go ahead.
But now is Yahshua risen from the dead, and become the firstfruits of them that slept. For since by man came death, by man came also the resurrection of the dead. For as in Adam all die, even so in Yahshua shall all be made alive. But every man in his own order, Yahshua the firstfruits, afterward they that are Yahshua's at his coming.
All right, so if the Mashiach is the firstfruits unto men, then they that are the Mashiachs at his coming, if we've never participated in firstfruits, How do you get to be one to deal with Christ, who is first fruit? Now, we understand certain things very clearly. We understand that if you don't put any money in the bank, you can't take none out. We understand if you don't go to work, you don't get a check. How is it that we have a holy day of first fruits, yet people believe that they are going to be happy at his coming, but they've never celebrated the day set forth for his coming, for him, the first fruit? There is something strange that we believe that we can take part in something or get substance from something that we've never had anything to do with. Go ahead, brother. You finish that?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Revelation chapter 14. See, it says that he's going to say, "Get away from me, you worker of iniquity. I never knew you." Everybody believes that's going to be somebody else. No one entertains that thought being said to them. If they did, they would start to make a change, saying, you know what, I don't want this to be said to me. And it's very interesting because on one hand, Sunday morning says that he has nailed the law to the cross. Yet, in his own words, he says he's going to say, "Get away from me, I never knew you, you worker of iniquity." Iniquity is lawlessness. How can he say, "Get away from me, you who did not know the law," if he didn't nail the law to the cross? Go ahead.
Revelations chapter 14 and verse 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 having his father's name written in their foreheads.
They say you can't tell God's name. They say he got a lot of names. So how many names on their head? They about 144,000, some big head dudes, man. Go ahead.
And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins.
They're born again. Of course they are. Go ahead.
These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goes. These were redeemed from among men, being the firstfruits unto Elohim and to the Lamb.
They were redeemed from among men, being the firstfruits unto Elohim and to the Lamb. They're not coming out of heaven. Now, if even the 144,000 ain't coming from heaven, man, the chances of Uncle Willie, this is getting slim pickings. It don't look good for Uncle Willie. If the 144, go ahead.
And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of Elohim.
All right, let's go to Exodus chapter 19. Exodus 19, and we're going to begin at verse 5.
Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. for all the earth is mine.
Okay, above all people. But then before that, there's an if. Okay? If you will obey my voice indeed. You don't get that designation just because you learned some stuff. Just because you figured out that you wanted the 12 tribes. That is not how he's passing this out. If you will obey my voice and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure. Now, for all the earth is mine. The stuff we're giving him belong to him. Go ahead.
And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which you shall speak unto the children of Israel. And Moshe came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which Yahweh commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, all that Yahweh has spoken we will do. And Moshe returned the words of the people unto Yah. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Lo, I come unto you in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with you, and believe you forever. And Moshe told the words of the people unto Yah.
All right, I come to you so that these people will see this great power and show some respect. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Go unto the people, and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes, and be ready against the third day. For the third day Yahweh will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai.
All right, so then the whole part of being in the presence of Yahweh, you need to have prepared yourself. You can't just do any old thing and say, I'm prepared to meet my maker. Go ahead.
And you shall set bounds unto the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves, that you go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever touches the mount shall be surely put to death. There shall not an hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through. Whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the trumpet sounds long, they shall come up to the mount. And Moshe went down from the mount unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, Be ready against the third day, come not at your wives. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning, that there were thunders and lightnings and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. And Moshe brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with Elohim, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because Yahweh descended upon it in fire. And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long, and waxed louder and louder, Moshe spake, and Elohim answered him by a voice. And Yahweh came down upon Mount Sinai, on the top of the mount, and Yahweh called Moshe up to the top of the mount, and Moshe went up.
All right, so then we see that the children of Israel had to sanctify themselves against the third day just to be in the presence of Yahweh. They still couldn't go up on the mount. This was just being in the midst when that kind of power arrives, that you need to be prepared. But that was a whole nother level that Moshe had to deal with in being able to go up in that mount. Let's go to Romans chapter 9. Romans chapter 9, and I want you to read verses 1 through 5.
I say the truth in Yahshua. I lie not, my conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from the Mashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertain the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of Elohim and the promises.
All of this authority was given unto Israel. Well, in the beginning, he said, if you do these things, you shall be a peculiar people, a nation of priests, a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. Go ahead.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Yahshua came, who is over all, Elohim blessed forever. Amen.
But everything that they show us about the Messiah, he seems to come from the Gentiles and not from this group of people that Yahweh is mentioning within this book. But let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to Exodus chapter 23. Exodus chapter 23. And we're going to read verses 13 through 17.
And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of your mouth. 3 times you shall keep a feast unto me in the year. You shall keep the feast of unleavened bread. You shall eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded you, in the time appointed of the month Abib. For in it you came out from Egypt, and now shall appear before me empty. And the feast of harvest, the first fruits of your labors, which you have sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when you have gathered in your labors out of the field. 3 times in the year all your males shall appear before the Adonai Elohim.
All right. As it is written, 3 times in the year shall all your males make an appearance, and you shall not come before Yahweh empty. Like I have said many a times, I don't care if it's $1. You do not come before Yahweh empty. Understand, the whole nations are going to have to partake in this. And these are the very things that are going to sustain us as a nation. Because we're talking about kings, nations having to bring up a portion of their gross national product. You're talking about some really serious offerings. But we're also talking about some nations that have stolen greatly from us. An enormous amount. This is why they didn't want to have that conversation about reparations. They realized it's going to be too much. So once they start adding what all we've done to them, we won't be able to sustain that number. They know it. But Yahweh got us. He's going to make sure that they give back every cent and add everything unto it that is supposed to be added to it. They're going to make restitution. But we have to make sure that we are in a place that we will be the ones to be able to receive that restitution. See, somebody's had to shed their blood to make an atonement on the earth. That's not a role that we want to play. Our forefathers have done that. We need to be the ones that stand there and receive that restitution for the sins that they have committed against our people. So what time? Everything ready out back?
No, sir. About 15 minutes.
15?
Yeah.
All right. So, and at 10:45, we will be making our appearance. So for all of our people online, 15 minutes from now, 10:45, we will be making our appearance together. All right. Shalom.
Shalom.